If you've ever seen an old building in your neighborhood and thought, I wonder what's in there, then I've got the perfect event for you to put on your calendar. Open House Chicago from the Chicago Architecture Center is back October 18th and 19th. It's a free citywide festival where you get behind the scenes access to more than 200 of Chicago's most beautiful, historic, and interesting buildings across 25 neighborhoods. Seriously, there's no tickets. You just pull up and explore the buildings. Plan your weekend now at openhousechicago.org. Steppenwolf Theater kicks off its 50th season with the Chicago premiere of Mr. Wolf. Written and directed by ensemble members, the Chicago Tribune gave it 4 stars and called it explosively emotional. And I watched the trailer, y'all, and that seems like a perfect description. It follows the story of Teresa, a 15-year-old who has been missing for over a decade. Now a miraculous reunion has left her with a family she no longer understands nor recognizes. Get tickets now at steppenwolf.org. Today on CityCast Chicago. And just like that, we have entered the holiday sprint to the end of the year. But before we start breaking out the costumes or my mama starts stashing extra turkeys in my fridge, let's get into our monthly guide to help you make the most of October. It's Wednesday, October 1st. I'm Jacoby Cochran, and this is what Chicago's talking about. I'm joined by executive producer Simone Alicea. What's good, my friend?
Hey, Jacoby.
We've also got Hey Chicago newsletter editor Emmy Mack in the building. What's good, Emmy?
Hey, Jacoby. Hey, Simone. Hey, Chicago. I'm excited. October is probably my favorite month.
Honestly, this October may turn out to be my favorite month of the year. I got some cool things happening this month that I'm excited to talk about. If you are new to the show, welcome. We are Chicago's #1 daily podcast and newsletter covering all things Chicago. And if I dare say so myself, we got a little bit of range, my friends. One day we telling you whose property tax bills are going up this year. And then the next day we talking to you about the best tacos in town or how to have fun by spending $10 or less. And that's every day, Monday through Friday. And if you're not new to the show, then you already know we are in the midst of our fall membership campaign. We are asking you to join CityCast Chicago Neighbors. Come join the neighborhood to help support this show. If you've already joined, I see you. I appreciate you. Even if you joined weeks or months before this campaign started, or even years ago, we really appreciate you because you've been giving us some money for some months now. You done gone through some transitions and you still rocking with us. We really appreciate you. Simone, for the people who don't know, who are our CityCast Chicago neighbors?
Our neighbors are our members. As you said, these are the people who have said, hey, this show that I listen to every day, this newsletter I read every day, this is worth $10 a month or maybe $100 a year. Emmy, you also write the monthly guides for the newsletter. What do you think it is about what we do here at CityCast, what we offer, that makes them so useful and worth our listeners' support today?
On the podcast, you're getting the conversation end. I mean, if we talk about the monthly guides, it's like listening to some friends, genuinely talking about what they're excited for coming up. But then on the newsletter side of things, you get to see that written down, bullet point listed, what events are happening, when are they?
The links, the dates, the times.
And that's kind of the real and unique value, I think, of what CityCast is doing. We're connecting people to the city they live in a way that's really easy and digestible for them. We're keeping them company through the conversations that you guys have on the podcast every day, which range from complex and political to lighthearted. You guys were talking about how you make friends in Chicago, which was really fun listen. Then I'm there kind of on the sidelines writing up just extra ways that you can be your most informed friend in the friend group.
I mean, you're not on the sidelines. This is front and center.
We all in the game.
It's a two-prong. It's a two-prong offense.
It's only 5.
Okay, sorry. And so, if you want to support that work that we do, you can at membership.citycast.fm.
So I like to think you are showing up for the news and the events, but you're really paying for the vibes. Like I think about our Friday roundups and our guests tell me all the time that this is a place they love to come and talk about the stories that they're working on. If you love them too, go ahead, Join up during this home stretch of the campaign so you can also get your Neighbors Make Chicago tote. You don't want to miss out on it. Every campaign season, somebody hit me up the day after it's over or the week after it's over and go, hey, y'all gonna open up the CityCast Chicago merch shop so I can get the tote? Not yet. Not tomorrow, not next week. So you probably want to get it this week before things are over. And the only place you can sign up is membership.citycast.fm. All right, we've asked for your money. Now let's deliver on our promise. Let's give you something that's worth that $10 a month. And today, that's our guide to October. Emmy, I'm gonna start with you since this is your first ever guide on the podcast. What's the thing you're really looking forward to this month?
Halloween, baby. So this is actually my first Halloween in Chicago in a long time. I usually take my costumes on the road for some big costume contests in New York and other places. But this year I'm setting up. I'm here. I'm excited for my costume, which right now I'm thinking I'm going to do Captain Jack Sparrow for 3 days, the whole weekend.
Now you going to Daniel Day-Lewis it? You just going to stay in character?
In method, full method.
I'm not going to break character. That's the goal. Instead of trying to figure out a different outfit for every day, I'm just saddling in and I'm going to have rum on me and I'm not going to break character. I'm going to do the voice for 3 days. That's the goal.
Here's what I love about this, because I also feel like it's a performance art piece where the costume over time, I assume, is going to get dirty and bedraggled, much like the real Captain Jack Sparrow.
I love that I have met you since last October. It hasn't even been a full year of us working together. And I've probably seen you in no less than 12 costumes. I've probably seen pictures of you, at least a dozen costumes already. And so I know how seriously you take this.
Yeah, life is a big costume party for me. It really is. And outside of just dressing up for this month, I'm excited to hit some haunted houses. I don't know if I'm going to be going to this year because they went last year and I'm still freaked out from the experience. But La Casa de Santanas in Pilsen, if you are brave, go there. I don't want to give too much away, but it's really freaky. They will touch you and abuse you. They will lightly abuse you.
With your consent, theoretically.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also heard there were some ball gags and zip ties and bags over your head involved. Yeah. When
they put the bag over your head, you're like, this isn't really what I remember consenting to, but like, I'm here for the ride. So if you want an intense thrill, go there. It's made by originally, I think, a group of mostly SAIC students. It's kind of started as like an art installation project, but I mean, or performance, whatever you want to call
performance art to the max.
Yeah, to the max. And over the years, I think the artists involved change, tap in and out, but it's still as freaky as ever.
I can't say this is something I'm interested in. I don't think it's for me. I think it's for somebody out there. I'm sure. But luckily, Emmy, you are going to be rounding up a bunch of different kinds of haunted houses, some more maybe educational in nature, some less thrill-tastic. And folks can check that article coming out tomorrow. But are there any other Halloween activities you want to put the people on?
There's a concert happening in Bohemian National Cemetery, which is down the street from my parents' house. I grew up kind of staring at that cemetery, which is probably why I love Halloween so much. They do concerts regularly, but this one coming up on October 24th is spooky music. And then there's also a Halloween ball happening at the Congress Hotel on the 31st, which, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I saw a ghost at the Congress Hotel once. So I think going to a Halloween event there would just be too perfect. I'm pretty sure I saw Al Capone on the 7th floor. So
a lot of people say they see ghosts at the Congress Hotel. It's one of supposedly the most haunted places in Chicago. Although, Emmy, I know that you have quite the affinity for Al Capone. And so I'm a little, is it a confirmation bias that's happening over here? Like,
that's where it started.
I see.
It started when I was in high school running around the Congress Hotel scared.
Well, I'll have to take your word for it. I think a big tip for Halloween. Halloween is on a Friday this year. And so we say this a lot whenever these big holidays come around, but like seriously, when it comes to like big Halloween parties, like at places, get your tickets now as soon as you hear this on October 1st. Like it's gonna fill up fast. It's gonna get even more expensive. Like if that is your scene, you definitely kind of want to be on top of that and don't be waiting until like that Monday because stuff's gonna sell out for sure.
Simone, is the thing you're most looking forward to also Halloween related?
No,
Not at all.
not even a little bit. I mean, I have so much respect for people who like can come with a costume idea and then commit to the idea and then just like perform it.
I haven't worn a costume in years.
I am so neurotic about trying to figure out what my costume should be. Is it something I care enough about? Do I want to explain it to people? Is it going to fit the weather of where I'm going? I have so many thoughts. And so then I end up just not doing anything. So the thing I'm most looking forward to in October is the leaf peeping out here. It's beautiful. I feel like it just like September hasn't felt like fall at all, really. And so I am hopeful that we will maybe start to get those vibes here in October. October is peak fall foliage season across Illinois. Mid-October is when we're going to start to see those peak colors around Chicago and the Chicagoland area. If you're trying to take a trip farther south, then you're going to want to go a little bit later. If you want to take a trip up to Wisconsin, you maybe want to go a little bit earlier. Enjoy Illinois, which is the state's tourism arm, has a like fall colors trip planner. If you want to road trip about it. But one of my favorite spots to see the foliage here in the city is Westridge Nature Park, which also borders Rose Hill Cemetery. So if you want to do like a 2-for-1, like graveyard, nature preserve kind of fall outing, that's a good spot to do it. I think it's kind of underhyped. It's, you know, the entrance is like on Western Avenue. So it's like I go there a lot when I get my car serviced. And so it's like there's a lot of like dealerships and stuff like that. And so you really don't expect it to be a nature park, like a nature preserve. But actually, it's got some really, really beautiful foliage in the fall. So that would be my suggestion.
Yeah, I usually wait till the fall to get out to like Spears Woods, sort of Camp Bullfrog Lake over there. What's that, like west of Palos Hills? I haven't been since last October. I know we're going to talk a little bit about weather lately, but like last year's October was the 9th hottest October in Chicago history, like the hottest day being 85. And so I'm interested to see how the weather impacts like this like shift into fall, but also then made me think about I'm not following, but I'm getting served this TikTok where it's a page where all this person does is finds and steps on the crunchiest leaf.
That's awesome.
They can possibly find, and it is scratching.
So satisfying.
Yes.
ASMR.
Edge of my brain.
Yes.
That is so perfect every single time.
Here's how I know we're getting into fall is on the flip side, Jacoby, the scourge of sensory experience, leaf blowing has become much more common, and I'm hearing the leaf blowers on the regular outside my building, and I hate them, and we should go back to rakes, and I truly despise them. I think we should abolish leaf blowers. I'm sure there are reasons we have them, but they personally make me like, it's like nails on a chalkboard to my ears. I hate them.
For me, Halloween, I'm more excited for it this year than I have been in previous years. However, this year, my sister's getting married on Halloween. And the closest thing I think we're doing to spooky is everyone's going to be dressed in all black. And so it'll probably be the opposite of a very scary night. It's going to be a very emotional night filled with like tears and laughter and jokes. And so I'm really looking forward to that. But for me, one of the things I'm probably looking forward to is, honestly, it's not even all that exciting as I think about it, is the return of the MNBA, right? Men's basketball is back. The Bulls are back. They start their preseason a couple of weeks. I think just earlier this week was their like media day and the opening of training camp. There's nothing really to be excited for with the Bulls overall. We ain't got no star players.
But basketball's back at the UC.
But yeah, basketball back at the United Center. And again, just the overall NBA is back. That's like just a big time in my friend group, my family, similar when basketball or when football season starts up. It's just like an easy excuse for my friends and family to get together. And we all really lean into the football and basketball schedule to like dictate our like time together. And so it really helps to have the season back. That's where it's at. All right, so we talked about our favorite thing. If you had a tip for people to manage October, Simone, I'm gonna start with you. What is your best tip for October?
Yeah, you talked a little bit about this. We were talking about the leaves and just does it feel like fall? I think October weather, I like there are a few months in Chicago where the weather is the most erratic, right? I think your March, your April, May a little bit, I think. And then I think that October, November stretch also gets, you never quite know, are you going to get.
I love that you just described almost half of the months in the year in Chicago. You said,
Yeah.
those chaotic months in Chicago, almost all of them.
Yeah. Welcome. This is where we live. I have had Halloweens here where it has been 75 degrees and I'm wearing this long sleeve black dress and I hate myself. And I have had Halloweens where it has been snowing and I'm wearing a teeny tiny short dress and I hate myself. And so you just gotta check that forecast, and then you have to not believe the forecast and plan for the opposite anyway. That would be my biggest tip for October. I am looking at a monthly forecast from weather.com, and it does appear that we are in for a relatively mild October. For these first couple weeks, we're still looking at, highs in the 70s and low 60s, lows not really getting below mid 50s. And then by the end of the month, we maybe will start to see highs in the upper 50s, which is not nearly as cold as it could be, but I don't think that precludes any potential wild weather from happening in October. Truly, you never know how it's going to be.
This is the month where I definitely start hoarding hoodies, where I'm just like buying as many hoodies as I possibly can.
Bring the hoodie, bring the umbrella, bring the layers, choose carefully if you're going to do tall boots or short boots. You really gotta think about the order here.
My tip is for you two, which is do not be too cool for Halloween.
You know your audience.
Don't give me that. Go dress up. Go to at least one thing that you got invited to. And like, I get not everyone wants to do, a multi-part costume like I'm into. Like, I get that. Just get a black wig. They sell them everywhere and be the girl from Pulp Fiction. I think men and women all look great as the girl from Pulp Fiction. You put some lipstick under your nose. You do the black wig. You don't
Uma
even have
Thurman's
to change
character specifically.
You don't.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You don't even need to change your outfit. I love counting how many I encounter as I walk through the streets. And I just think it's flattering on everyone, actually. A tip for guys is girls will come talk to you if you are dressed up even a little bit. So single guys out there, like, this is what I'm promising you. So everyone just, chill out, be a little goofy for a night. And then my advanced tip for Halloween professionals is bring a big purse with you with extra wigs. I do it every year, and there's never been a year where they don't all get worn and mussed up, and everybody's like so thankful for it. So
wigs is a solid tip, actually, for like easy costumes. I feel like I have to go out to the Village discounts of the world and then be like, which of these items speaks to me? And then build something around that. So last year, I think I found a top that had these like black feathers. And so I went as a raven and I like painted my face with a beak and slicked back my hair. And, I was just a bird. I don't know that I liked it. I didn't feel like excited about it, but it was just like, this is a thing I could do in the 2 hours before a party that I needed to get ready for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it. My famous Big Bird costume started last summer because I found a yellow bikini and I was like, this is where we're starting.
That's wild, because if people have seen that photo,
and then it built out. It built out from there.
Yeah, because you weren't just like a girl in a bikini with like some feathers around. Like, that was a full-on costume. It was pretty involved.
Yeah, I can't even remember the last costume, like real costume I would have worn. But I do love y'all enough to remind y'all that this time last year, I got towed because I stopped paying attention to street sweeping signs in October. You sort of just think of the season from, April to October. and you you can forget.
But you're like it's from spring to fall, I think is how most people think of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh, it's over or it ends at the top of October. But no, it actually can stretch out well into November, my friend. So like for me in my ward, 4th Ward, in my section, our last street sweeping day is October 30th. But where I parked last year, which is still in the same ward, but I wasn't paying attention, was in a different section because ain't no street parking around where I live. That section didn't end until November 18th. So my ass got. So maybe give the schedule and signs another look. And if you are somebody who maybe lives on the border of multiple sections, seriously, parking 1 or 2 blocks over, or a couple blocks over because you got to walk to where you live could be the difference between getting your car towed. And so, maybe just pay attention, look up the link online.
Jacoby, the way this towing experience has haunted you for the past year, I think this is what you should go as for Halloween.
If I really had the costume skills in me, I would go as the trailer that sits on lower whacker where you have to go.
Yeah.
If that's where you get towed. That's what I would go as, that seemingly non-space that exists between dimensions.
Low-key though, if someone were to make a haunted house that was based on the trailer at lower whacker, for any haunted house makers out there, that's free idea for you.
Fall is in full swing, which means fall theater season is back and cracking across the city. And I got another pick for you to look out for. Don't wait to secure your tickets to Timeline Theater Company's world premiere of Hundreds and Hundreds of Stars. Motherhood, marijuana, and the multiverse collide in this story set in Chicago, exploring family, immigration, and identity. The play follows Clara, who's applying for U.S. citizenship ahead of a trip to Paris with her tween daughter, but Clara's application is unexpectedly flagged, threatening the only home she's ever known. We got a quote from the playwright and star Sandra Delgado, who says, "This is a very personal family tale, not unlike those playing out more and more every single day in Chicago and around the country." Starting October 8th, this Timeline production is being hosted in the immaculate Looking Glass Theater space in the historic Water Tower Waterworks at Pearson in Michigan. Visit timelinetheater.com for more info and to get your tickets today. What's up, y'all? Jacoby Cochran, senior host of CityCast Chicago. If I had to guess, you already know that, which means from listening to this show, you also know how much I love my city, how much this team rides for Chicago. And honestly, one of the best parts is we love helping you understand the city, feeling more connected to it. Because at the end of the day, the only reason this show works is because of you. You're probably somebody who like to shop in their neighborhood whenever possible, right? You're probably somebody who keep their library card on them, who their friends and family come to for their opinion and their thoughts on the stories happening in and around the city. You know how I know this? Because that's me. So if this sounds like you, I'm going to invite you to join CityCast Chicago Neighbors. Our membership program is designed to help people just like you. You're going to get invites to members-only events, our curated weekly roundup of the best things to do in the city, and a chance to share your love for Chicago on our podcast. Plus, your membership directly supports the people making this show every single day so that we can keep bringing you the stories that matter most. Become a CityCast Chicago neighbor for $10 a month or $100 a year at membership.citycast.fm. That's membership.citycast.fm. Before we finish up our guide to October, I want to remind you that we are in the final days of our fall membership campaign. This is the chance to show your support for the local team that makes this podcast and newsletter every single day. And you can go to membership.citycast.fm to sign up now.
Emmy, they don't just get to feel good about supporting what we do here. Tell the listeners about the perks.
So my favorite perk would be the weekly events preview, which gets delivered straight to your inbox every Monday. I write that. It's rounding up the week's events ahead of time, so you don't have to wait till the day of to see that in your inbox. And those are the events that I spend all week scrounging around to find. You mentioned this, I think, on the podcast the other day, Simone, but I'm out here taking pictures of lampposts everywhere I go. I'm emailing marketing directors. I'm texting party organizers. I'm asking everyone I know.
Emmy is out here. I cannot emphasize this enough.
I am never in my house except for when I'm writing the newsletter. All the rest of the time, I'm out taking notes and making a bullet point list of the best places to go and the most fun things to do. So if you want to see that handiwork, it is neatly compiled, like I said, straight in your inbox every Monday if you are a member. And then additionally, members also get to give us their neighborhood shout outs, which is any local business or nonprofit that you want to shine a spotlight on. There have been some really cool recommendations that I had never heard of that I've learned about. Lots of bakeries, yoga studios, and they are in different neighborhoods from all sides of the city. You also get ad-free listening. So yeah, we all know that the most annoying part of listening to podcasts is the ads or having to stop what you're doing to fast forward.
Not our ads. We love Jacoby. We love our sponsors. But yeah, like if you find yourself fast forwarding, like, hey, get some ad-free listening.
And members only events. If the events list isn't enough for you, if you want to be even a little more special, you get VIP invites. We have bird watching coming up at the Field Museum soon.
That event is sold out because, as it turns out, folks are really enjoying that. But we do have an event coming up in October for Open House Chicago with the Chicago Architecture Center. We're going to be hanging out at the Ramova Theater. But if you want the details, you got to become a member. That's the only way you're going to get that detailed invite.
If you join this week, only this week, you will get the coveted Neighbors Make Chicago tote bag. And this is a rare item. You could end up flipping this for, I don't even know how much at 2nd Street. Come on, guys. And you will not be able to get it if you don't sign up during this membership campaign. So if you want the tote, if you want to find out about the open house, if you want ad-free listening, and like I said, those awesome packaged events previews, you can go to membership.citycast.fm.
I'm not gonna lie, the more and more we do this, the more and more I am impressed with the work that we do. The fact that we cover every beat. There is no Chicago beat we do not cover. We're going to talk about some sports every now and then and developments that's going on and the criminal legal system and education. And yet we are also the exact same people that's sitting here opening up our weekend calendars, telling you the things that we're excited for and looking forward to and building these like list of places you should try out. Like the fact that all of us are doing all of that work together every day. Honestly, at this point, even if you don't give us the money, I'm like, damn, it's worth it. You should, like, I'm kind of done begging. I'm just like, give us your money. Like, we're kind of popping. Go to membership.citycast.fm and hand over the money. Hand it over.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. You're the best. We love you.
We appreciate you. Now we're going to talk about some of the biggest stories we are watching this month. And I'm going to kick us off because it is the start of the respiratory season. It typically runs from October to May. And last week, Illinois' vaccine panel voted to recommend that people get their COVID-19 vaccine, get an influenza shot, and for young kids, get their RSV vaccines. We've seen at different points over the last few years, each of these have their sort of waves, their upticks. I have had numerous family members catch COVID-19 this year. I've been put down by the flu last year. And so as I'm preparing to go to a wedding, as I'm preparing to like meet members in person this month, I'm going back on stage for the first time, right? I'm gonna be in the airport this year. So I have a lot of reasons to be thinking about staying vaccinated. I spend a lot of time in public. And so I've been very concerned about these like shifting mandates. And I imagine there are a ton of Chicagoans who they just see the big headline, right? They stripped the CDC of funding and fired a bunch of people and no longer recommend you to get these things. But I'm going to follow the doctors who kind of saw us through the pandemic right here in Illinois, right here at the Chicago Department of Public Health. And I already got my appointment made, a couple weeks before I got to go to the wedding. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about, because it's going to be tough reading them stories later this month and later throughout the fall when it's like, oh, Chicago is seeing increased hospitalizations of young people and elderly, because it's like this type of misinformation we're living in is that's what it's going to lead to.
Oh, and it's not even just the misinformation, but as you said, some of the conflicting
Guidelines.
sort of back and forth, the conflicting guidelines. Illinois' vaccine panel, the state has sort of said, yeah, get these shots. Like, we recommend you get them. This comes after the FDA, CDC. There has been some adjusted guidance from the federal government that was like, well, only if you have certain conditions, or, if you're particularly vulnerable, or only if you're older. And then we saw even again that they were maybe thinking about not recommending it more or less at all, regardless of age. But in Illinois, the recommendation is get the shot. Jacoby, it sounds like you were able to make an appointment pretty easily. I don't know if you had to attest to any additional conditions besides just
Luckily, I made mine a couple of weeks out. And so there was plenty of appointments I was still able to go to, because I remember we talked about this maybe a month ago, and I was like, can I still go to CVS Walgreens? I was able to get it at a local Walgreens.
Mm-hmm.
Simone, what's the big story for you this month?
It's budget season, everybody. We're here. We've been talking about it for months. The city of Chicago, city council's back. They came back with a bang, and they passed a bunch of new ordinances last week. ADUs. There were some housing productions around the Obama Center. There were just a slew of different things.
A lot of new construction got approved in city council this week.
The fire stadium got approved, right? It was a whole kind.
Apartments in Lakeview and Avondale, and hotel in Woodlawn, and in near Inglewood, Washington Park. They was late, but they stayed late.
Yeah, I suspect that they acted on all those things because a majority of their fall term is going to be taken up by the fact that Chicago has a $1.15 billion budget deficit. Again, a lot has been made of this. We have known about this since at least the spring. There was a mayoral task force that looked into essentially what can the city do, and issued a series of recommendations, some of which were revenue generating recommendations. The majority of those were revenue generating recommendations. A big one that they recommended that is very controversial is tying property tax increases to inflation. The mayor has said he does not want to raise property taxes. He will not raise property. We'll see. We'll see. Later this month, about the middle of the month, we're expecting the mayor to give his budget address. And that is where we will actually get a look at, here is specifically what is being proposed. Last year, that budget address caused all kinds of drama because he proposed a big property tax increase, a hefty one, that was then unanimously shot down by city council. The council then went on to do a series of, accounting tricks and various nips and tucks and fees and fines to close the budget gap last year. From everyone we have spoken to,
I was literally going to say, everybody saying we've run out of those nips and tucks as you've described them.
From everyone that we've spoken to, we are kind of running out of those tricks. I don't know how much. I doubt we are going to see any massive major cuts. I think the biggest one that is sort of on the table is a hiring freeze
for citywide vacancies.
That would be sort of the biggest one that could that would affect departments across the city, including police, fire, etc. As far as revenue raising, I think the biggest thing we might see is a giant property tax increase, or at least some kind of re-upping that proposal to tie property tax increases to inflation, which is one of the things that made predecessor Lori Lightfoot so unpopular. But here we are.
Maybe a renegotiation of our garbage fees, pension obligations, two things that are also highly unpopular. And so, it's going to be a speech that leaves, I think, a lot of people hoping for more, maybe a lot of people frustrated about the state of Chicago's finances. But I think, like you said, Mayor Johnson has been preparing us for the reality that only so many big swings are on the table and have any type of political feasibility behind them.
Well, he's got a bunch of new chairs and appointments in city council, though, after Alderperson Walter Burnett retired. And then, of course, his son, Walter Redmond Burnett.
Hey, but as that vote, that property tax vote last year shown, even your allies can quickly become your I don't want to call them his enemies, but his adversaries. Yeah, real quick.
Yes.
Every single month, we end these conversations on a much lighter note than budget season and respiratory diseases, I promise you. And we talk about some of the things we are most looking forward to eating or drinking this month. Emmy, what's that for you?
So a new women's sports bar just opened down the block from me called Babes.
Come on now.
I have been waiting for this. I don't watch sports, but I'm a girl's girl, so I'm going to go check this place out. They're only playing women's sports. I think they have a lot of TVs in there. It's really pink. It's really cute. They have a big, opening party coming up. And for almost a full year, I've been walking past this storefront and it's been papered over the window with just hot pink pieces of paper that said Babes coming soon. So the hype is real. Like, I'm just so excited to finally check this place out. They have a chili margarita on the menu that looks good to me. And then as for food, it's apple cider donut season. So that's one of the few things, in my opinion, that I'll trek far out to the suburbs to go to those cute little farm stands and get some delicious donuts. There's a good place in Lincolnshire, which is pretty far out. But like I said, it's kind of the fall way to do these day trips. Didier Farms and then Apple Holler also. I'm heading to Wisconsin soon, so I might stop there for donuts. But yeah, mostly excited to check out Babes.
I need to know, Emmy, what is your Apple Holler fit? What's your fall fit?
I haven't gone in years, but I think there's a picture of me the last time I went there in overalls.
Yes, that tracks.
Commit. I commit. So
yeah, I know. And you love a theme. That's why I was like,
I think apple picking is way overrated. I don't care. I'm kind of bored, but I like dressing up and going, and I like the donuts.
I think that's fair.
What I am most looking forward to of eating is also straight out of some videos I saw this month. One came from Howard Street Soul. And I saw this guy sitting there eating what looked like the crispiest fried catfish, some black eyed peas, some greens, and some spaghetti. It looked damn good. And the fact that everybody was in the comments just like, you gonna make me drive all the way up to the north side for some soul food? I gotta go all the way to Rogers Park. I gotta go up Howard and Sealy. What are you talking about? It looked legit. And so I'm trying to pull up. And then on the opposite side of town, off 105th and Halsted, I saw this video of some stewed chicken with greens and some blueberry lemonade from Leor's Cafe. And so those were two meals that have been running circles in my dreams for the last couple of weeks. And so I'm going to need to find time to go check both of those up off the menu.
I think an epic trip would be doing both of those in 2 days, going from 105th and Halsted to Howard and Sealy.
Honestly, I think you can do it in one day.
That's what I mean.
Oh, you said 2 days. So
no, that's not what I meant. Doing the two locations in one day. Whatever that phrase I was supposed to say, that's what I meant.
Yes. No, and that would be, I feel like, Emmy, that's like right up your alley. As somebody who has walked the entire length of the Red Line. You've already proven that it is possible on foot. And so, I think you could definitely make this happen. And the hardest part, obviously, is just figuring out what are you doing in between. Like, we know what our beginning and our end point is.
You know what you're doing in between, Jacoby?
Burning off the calories.
You're listening to CityCast Chicago. You're catching up on all the episodes of the week. That's what you're doing.
Simone, I love it. Never stop pitching. Never stop pitching.
Always what's the thing, be plugging.
What's the thing you are most looking forward to eating or drinking this month?
Yeah, I have and I hope I'm not scooping myself here, but I have a friend who's opening up a new bar in North Center. Which is really exciting. The bar is going to be called Hindsight. I don't know the exact if it's going to be totally open in October, but it's been in the works for a while. I just saw some construction pictures. It's very cool. There's going to definitely be some gamer energy around it. There's a mural on the side of the building that is a Chicago rat and a Chicago pigeon. I'm really looking forward to it. I think I'm really excited for it. I'm excited for him. It'll be nice to have a spot that I know is a friendly spot.
Yes. Like that's the coolest part. Like I know people work hours, but to know a bar owner, like what?
You know what I'm saying?
That's that next level. We all know somebody who knows somebody or know somebody who's doing something cool. Hey, I want to give a huge thank you for our producer and editor coming through to help us put this guide to October together. Shout out to executive producer Simone Alicea.
Hey, thanks, Jacoby.
And Hey Chicago newsletter editor Emmy Mack.
Thanks, Jacoby.
And then, of course, show some love for the dress for your boy, Jacoby Cochran. He's so cool. We love his recommendations.
We love him.
God, I need to
Jacoby.
sign up and become a member.
right now.
I'm joining the neighborhood now. What was it, Kobe? Membership.citycast.fm? Yeah, I'm going there now. Before we get out of here, I want to give a very special thank you to all of our new neighbors who have signed up during this fall membership campaign, including Elise K, Bonnie E, JoJo BS, Jillian E, Susie J, Catherine S, Destiny V, Crystal G, Alyssa E, and Serena M. Remember, we are in the final few days, which means it's one of the last chances to get that Neighbors Make Chicago tote. You already know where to sign up. That's membership.citycast.fm. The Lion King is back in Chicago for 2 weeks only at the Cadillac Palace Theater. Shows begin on Friday. I saw this show in New York City like 8 years ago, and I have never forgotten about it. It might be time to run it back. Many of the shows are already sold out, so if you want to go, get your tickets now. Don't hesitate. I'm going to drop a link for you in the show notes. As always, we appreciate you for listening, reading, joining the neighborhood. However you engage with this podcast and this newsletter, thank you. Keep doing it. Keep putting us on with your people. We're going to be back bright and early tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Peace.
If you want to borrow the Big Bird, it's just sitting around in my basement. It's waiting to come back out.
Unfortunately, I ain't going to be here that weekend. It's going to be tough.
Jacoby, if
It's
you
gonna be
wore a Big Bird costume, we would get so many members just to see that photo of you in the Big Bird
Yeah.
costume.
Shit, I don't like membership that much.